Welcome back to our second mock draft Monday. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to do a rapid fire first round mock draft. Let's go.
Let us know if you like who your team drafts here. First up, the Tennessee Titans. I believe I am the odds today. And this time we are going to stick with the old Will Levis. And we're going to take a guy who's an absolute game changer. They said they're not going to pass up on a generational talent here at number one, right? A generational talent, his name happens to be Abdul Carter. He's going number one to the Tennessee Titans.
I like it a lot. Number two, also same thing. We're not just begging for a quarterback in Cleveland. There's a couple on the roster that you never know. They could turn around. They could play. You take the best player on the board, Travis Hunter, number two to the Cleveland Browns.
A lot of QBs late too, BB. We're going to take that. We're not going to take the same thought process here, though. The New York Giants and Shedeur Sanders feels somewhat like destiny, but we're going to go with Cam Ward here to switch things up. So you guys for a little curveball. Come on.
Number four here, New England Patriots. You're a little sad that Abdul's gone. You're expecting him to be here at 4 with 2 quarterbacks going before you, and you're kind of like, man, that sucks. What can I really do? I've seen a lot of mocks with this guy, and I think it's just too good of a pick to change it up. He's not on the board we're seeing right now, but we're going to go with the offensive tackle, Will Campbell, at number 4, protecting our man, Drake May.
Bang, bang. Okay, a little bit of a dig. I love it. I love it. 5, Liam Cohen, Mr. Duval, just got hired, and he needs some people. I know he's an offensive guy, but he has got to clean up that historically bad defense in Jacksonville. With that being said, easy pick here is Mason Graham.
If you're the Las Vegas Raiders at 6, you're licking your chops. Your golden child, Shedeur Sanders, has fallen in your lap. You don't need to do too much other thinking. You're going Shedeur Sanders, automatically upgrade that QB position.
Bang, bang. Here at 7, the New York Jets. There's a lot that needs to be cleaned up in New York for the old Aaron Glenn. He is a defensive coach, though. That's the first thing I feel like he'll be looking at. But it's just so much of a need with Aaron Rodgers in his ear. Man, I need somebody to protect me, or we aren't doing nothing. And it's good for the rest of your career here in New York. Kelvin Banks to protect Aaron Rodgers.
Right here at number 8, I am dreaming that the Panthers have signed T. Higgins in free agency, so they see a glaring need at the edge position. A guy that was supposed to be the number 1 pick coming into this year has fallen down the ranks, but I saw a stat today. He leads the nation in pressures. He is the highest pressure rate edge, higher than Abdul Carter at 22.3%. Give me James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee going to Carolina and shoring up that edge room. Get home, JP. Get home.
There you go. There you go. Let's see. Is there a way to incorporate a trade of the week here? No, there's not. It's too thirsty for the New Orleans Saints. They cannot move. If they're moving anywhere, it's up, but they don't have the assets to get that job done. Let's go ahead and get them a guy that is going to replace. He's going to replace. I can't even remember his name right now. He just got Marshawn Lattimore. Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore getting fried. He's replacing him, Will Johnson at corner.
I think that's a perfect pick for the Saints. I could see that happening. Real deal. Bears here. I said it in our last mock. I'll say it again. They cannot go any other direction than tackle. They take the best tackle on the board. I believe at this point it's Josh Simmons, best tackle. Cameron Williams has snuck in front of him. He was hurt all year, but supposed to be a great tackle. He's sneaking up the draft ranks. He was healthy in the semifinal game for Texas. He's going to the Bears here.
Here we go. BPA for them.
Yep.
The Niners, weird position. But, I mean, they got Debo. They got Ayuk, just signed him. They got McCaffrey. So I don't see these two guys being the answer. Maybe a guy like a Mykel Williams, just to continue to shore up that defense. Bosa's getting on the older side of his career. We're going to go with a Mykel Williams on the edge for San Francisco.
Yeah, you can't continue to keep trotting Yetur Gross-Matos out there and expecting good results. So look for a replacement from him. Number 12, you're the Cowboys here. Same thing I said with the who did I say that with? With the Raiders. You're licking your chops here. You need a running back bad. Jerry Jones loves juice. You get the Heisman Trophy runner-up, Ashton Genty, best running back in the draft. Easy pick to Dallas.
Chops are being licked in Miami as well. The fact that the best wide receiver is still on the board, Tyreek Hill wants out. Tua is the kind of guy who can get Tet the ball 10 times out of 10. I'm going Tet here to the Miami Dolphins just to keep that offensive power turning.
I like it. I believe we went Tyler Warren here to the Colts. They just need more juice. Both sides of the ball, honestly. Malachi Stark's intriguing. Luther Burden intriguing. Emeka Egbuka intriguing. Tyler Warren. In this, I got to go Tyler Warren again. Their receivers are fine. Pittman, Josh Downs, they do the job. Adding an elite tight end, a guy that can block too, help JT out, help Anthony Richardson out as well in the run game. Give me Tyler Warren to the Colts. It's too good of a match.
I love it. BB, I love this cornerback. We talked about him earlier today. I have to go. I mean, the Falcons need cornerback help bad, and we all know the infamous play from number 20 for the Falcons when Justin Jefferson is running booty butt naked, and this guy is slipping, Looney Tuning all over the place, hits the ground, touchdown Vikings. Give me Benjamin Morrison from the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, please.
Cardinals, 16. Buda Baker, you got at safety, so you're kind of okay there. If you're the Bengals, you're begging Malachi Starks to fall one more spot. So we're going to make it happen for him. We're going to help Kyler Murray out. We took a receiver in the first round last year, and we're going to double dip, and we're going to do it again. Give me Luther Burden to the Cardinals at 16. Kyler Murray's licking his chops.
Absolutely. He's got weapons galore. I mean, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have to be a little bit better next year, but I believe that he will. This is the easy pick. Like you said, BB, chops are being licked. Give me Malachi Starks, please.
Yeah, the Bengals draft room is jumping up and down if Malachi Starks falls to 17.
Yeah, he's nasty. He's an absolute game changer.
They can't get enough of it. Nick Scorton, highest rated player on the board, left. Seahawks, their edge room is not elite by any stretch of the imagination. They don't need a corner. Receivers are fine. They got Smith and Jigba, Metcalf. It'll be interesting to see if Metcalf gets moved in this offseason. So we're going to take the best player available, best player on the board. Actually, psych, we're not. We're going Jalen Walker to the Seahawks at 18.
Some might say that is the best player on the board, BB. Some might say that is.
I agree.
Let's see. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I mean, we'll see what happens if Chris Godwin gets shipped off, because if he does, Emeka Egbuka could end up being a great replacement for Chris Godwin and the Buccaneers. But in this case, we're going to assume that they keep the offense pretty close to what it was. And defensively, could use some help at the cornerback position. Siobhan Revell is not a bad pick. Yeah, we're going to go Siobhan Revell Jr. from East Carolina, the Pirates are.
I like that. NFC South's entire corner room outside of JC Horn is I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. All throughout the division. So good pick there from the Bucs. Good pick. Broncos here at pick 20. Nick Scorton still on the board. Emeka Egbuka on the board as well. He's been shooting up the board, now ranked as the 16th best player. Broncos defense, they everybody always says Broncos defense is just a bunch of guys you have no idea what their names are outside of Pat Surtain, but they somehow make plays. Now we're finally getting a big name, best player on the board, Nick Scorton, going to Sean Payton in Denver, helping them out on the defensive side of the ball.
Love it. And this board falls perfectly for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are starving for some wide receiver help. There's a lot of questions to be answered in Pittsburgh this offseason, and a big one is this exact position from a national championship winning team. I would gladly take Mr. Emeka Egbuka if I'm a Pittsburgh Steeler.
We got the Chargers here. They still lack really overall weapons on offense. Their running backs are Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins. Receiver, you have Ladd McConkey, who had a great rookie year. Outside of that, you have QJ1. Is he really good? I don't really know. There's all the top receivers are gone. They're licked clean. So at this point, They have their tackles sorted. Their defense is fine. Derwin James is a good What's the best receiver? I would look to trade back here, to be honest, if I'm the Chargers, but we're not doing that today. What's the best receiver on the board?
Best receiver on the board. Ooh,
Trey Harris. Ooh, any corners? We got any corners?
you're digging deep for both of those positions.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean,
D line, what do we got to edge and D tackle? Give me
Mike,
Tyleek Williams. Tyleek Williams to the Chargers at
I
22.
love Tyleek.
He can
Tyleek
play.
can play, dog. Tyleek can play. He's a game changer. The Packers. I mean, they're pretty okay at skill position offensively. I feel like these guys are constantly. Josh Jacobs was blocked up well. Jordan Love was protected well enough. I don't think you need anything too crazy there. But if I remember correctly, I feel like they gave up a lot of points in their playoff game. Is that a lie? Let's see.
The Packers defense is, I mean, they're fine, but
Yeah, I
definitely
mean,
their run D is rather lackluster. If I had to put one area of weakness.
okay. I lost 22-10 to the. Okay, 22-10 to the. Geez, Jordan Love threw 3 picks in that game. That's not good. Anyways, okay, let's stick over here. I'm gonna go. I mean, I love the idea of Derek Harmon because I mean, when you're playing in the NFC North in the cold up there, man, you gotta have just an absolute dog. And Derek Harmon is just that. So I'm gonna go with Derek Harmon here to the Green Bay Packers.
Love it. Love it. Vikings here. What's the answer at the QB position? Is it Darnold? Is it JJ McCarthy? Your offense is fine. You got Hawkinson, you got Jets, you got Addison, you got Aaron Jones. Your offense is set. The QB to be determined. Defense, honestly, their defense was pretty good this year as well. So if I am the Vikings, I'm looking at Mike Green, I'm looking at Walter Nolan, and I'm looking at Jahdae Barron. Which one of those? Harrison Smith up in age? Oh, but he is still good. But I'm going Jahdae Barron out of Texas, helping that secondary out.
I like it. And that's kind of who the Houston Texans wanted a piece of themselves, to be honest. But this is the range where, you're really just trying to, like, your team's really close, your players are good. You got it all figured out. You're just trying to add a guy who's got a little bit of pop to him. And there's nobody better. I'm a big fan of this dude, actually, from South Carolina, an absolute fly around guy, rare blend of size, athleticism, and instincts, built like a modern will linebacker, yet fluid enough to patrol the secondary. I mean, elite football IQ. This is like, I'm a big fan of Nick Emmanwori from South Carolina, and that's who is getting taken here by the Houston Texans, BB.
I like it. They said compare him to Kyle Hamilton out of the Ravens. It's a pretty elite comparison. You like that a lot. Rams here. The Rams are they're a good team. Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford, they're elite. Their receivers, I don't know if Cooper Kupp still got it. Post injury, he's seemed to struggle. Their D line got sorted out. They hit on 2 big picks on the D line in last year's draft. So I think tight end, no. Tackle, could. Offensive guard, Booker, could. Yeah, we're going to go with Tyler Booker, best player on the board available. Beef up that O-line. Give Kyron Williams some more room to run the rock. You don't really want to dip here for a receiver. The value's not too great at 26. So I don't mind Tyler Booker.
Yeah. The Texans could have taken that. CJ Stroud was on the ground a lot this year. Let's see. Baltimore Ravens. It's so weird because the Ravens are like, these are the teams where it's like earlier in the draft, you're talking about the teams need this. These teams don't need really anything too crazy, but part of me really wants to get some Mike Green action. He can play. He gets tons. I think he had like 16 sacks this year. Josh Simmons. We're gonna go here, Josh Simmons, just to keep the interior of your team solidified.
Like it. Lions, this is a team dealt with injuries all year on the defensive side of the ball. Aiden Hutchinson broke his leg. How good's he going to be post leg break? I don't know. You don't take any chances. You don't want to roll back out there next year with an injured defense if things were to go the same way. You take a guy with double-digit sacks. You take a guy who's trending upwards, and you take a guy who's slept on because of where he went to school. You go with Mike Green from Marshall.
Love it.
Easy.
Easy. And it's an easy pick for the Commanders, too. You have to go defensive side of the ball. They gave up 55 beans. That's unacceptable.
7 rushing touchdowns. You got to stop the run. You got to.
You got to. That is certified unacceptable. With the way Jaden Daniels is playing, you do not want him to end up like Joe Burrow, where you're almost 500 through your career, but you're one of the best QBs in the league. It's an easy pick here, defensive side of the ball. Walter Nolan, though, I don't know. Let's check to be sure. Dion can play. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm going Kenneth Grant here from Michigan. He's that man can play ball.
Yeah. Also,
I want to read
injury. So that's the reason Kenneth Grant's so far down there. He was supposed to be a top 10, top 15 pick at the beginning of the year, and you get him at 29. You're very happy. You're very happy about that.
You're very happy.
Bills here at 30. Heartbreaking loss last night to the Chiefs. They just can't seem to beat them in the playoffs. They beat them in the regular season. They've done it a couple times, but when it comes playoff, Patty Mahomes and the boys come to play. What's the answer? I honestly feel like it's DB, man. Like that one of their DBs went down yesterday, and Khair Elam was in the game, and he was getting picked on. He was getting picked on. So we're going best DB available. We're going Trey Amos from Ole Miss.
Yeah, he was getting fried, dude. My goodness. You could even consider going. I mean, the wide receiver class is, as of right now, is not looking too juicy. So yeah, you got to go there for them. Eagles. Man, that team, BB, the Eagles are very good. They are very good.
Mm-hmm.
They're good at wide receiver. They got the best player in the league at running back. Defensively, I mean, the front, this team is nasty. I mean, part of me wants to go with another SEC player at linebacker, Jahad Campbell.
That's what I was thinking. Jahad. You know they want to. You know they want to real bad.
You know they want to. Let me just make sure I'm not stepping on any dog's toes real quick. They
got Zach Bond. They took Nakobe Dean a couple years ago. He hasn't panned out as well as probably they would hope. Jahad Campbell in the middle, I think that shores up all issues on the defense.
Yeah, we're going Jahad. We're going Jahad all day.
Last pick, they're projecting the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. The Chiefs, you want to talk about a team after Hollywood Brown comes back, like what direction do these guys need to go? Rashee Rice will be back next year. Hollywood will most likely be back. Is this like Travis Kelce's last year? I saw a thing they were debating. But McDuffie, good corner. I kind of like Xavier Watts, man. Justin Reed, he's fine. He's nothing special.
Mm-hmm.
He's fine. But Xavier Watts, honestly, looking at this, I think he could be the best player on the board. Walter Nolan, sure. Harold Fannin, he went to Bowling Green, man. How much can you trust that? I could see that guy falling. So I'm going to go Xavier Watts here, add to that secondary, add to that Steve Spagnuolo defense. Hopefully Steve Spagnuolo can get out of there real quick. But that would be – I think that's a win draft. If you can get Watts there at 32 for the Chiefs, I think you like that. You don't really need anything on offense. Defense can always use some of that. D-line's good. Karlaftis, Chris Jones, don't really think they need help there.
Yeah, they're just so good, especially with Spagnuolo calling the plays. The only other place I could see him maybe going is Colston Loveland. Just be Travis Kelce replacement. I mean, that guy can play, but yeah, I love the Xavier Watts pick. I mean, and man, how lucky are you if you're Xavier Watts? You were just good enough to not have to get taken as early as Jahdae Barron or any of the other DBs, or the Malachi Starks, but you're also just good enough to get first round pick, 5th round option, first round money on the Kansas City Chiefs. What a lucky guy you
Yeah,
are.
you pretty much can say I'm going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But I appreciate y'all watching. That was our first round mock draft Monday, episode 2. We'll be back next week, I'm sure. Appreciate y'all watching. Drop a like, drop a sub. Means the world. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Later.
Peace.